What's good, y'all? Sak pase, que pasa lagan, and all that good stuff. I am MsMackAnomaly, and welcome to my channel. So guys, listen, if you hear any buzzing noises, any weird buzzing noises, my camera is hooked up to my monitor, and my monitor makes this stupid buzzing noise, and I'm tired of it. Don't know how to get rid of that, but bear with me, y'all. I know it's annoying, but this is what I gotta do, because if I just flip out the monitor that's attached to my camera, I can't see it. Even with glasses on, I can't see it. Which is why I wear my glasses in my video, so I can see exactly what I'm doing. So in this video, I will talk about why I don't like POC solidarity. And for those of y'all who don't know what POC solidarity is, that is the whole we are all people of color. And for those of y'all who know me, know I hate that phrase with the utmost passion. I hate it. And the reason why I hate it is because as a black person in this country, as a native black American, as an ADOS foundational black American, or as y'all say African American, I'm trying to stop saying that because there's a portion of people from Africa that emigrate from their homeland to come here and say that they're African American. Not all of y'all, some of y'all, but y'all know exactly what we mean by that. But to differentiate the other Afro ethnicities, I call myself an ADOS person, a foundational black American, a native black American, because of it. Now the reason why I don't like POC solidarity is because I find it insulting as a black person to be lumped in with a group of people that I don't identify as and that don't know the plight of the average ADOS person. I don't like minorities, I don't like the whole black and brown. First of all, let me clear this up for y'all. Brown is not a race. And to me, saying people of color is no different from when the Constitution says we the people, or the Declaration of Independence saying all men are created equal. There's a hierarchy. It's white people, yellow, Asian, brown, that'd be your Arabs, your South Asians, Hispanics, and you have black. Hello, there's a hierarchy. And the same people of color scheme gets implemented into our laws that was made for us. And for those of y'all who don't know what laws I'm referring to, I'm referring to the 1964 Civil Rights Act. And that was supposed to be made for us, but you have presidents like Lyndon Johnson who came up with that bill, gave the okie doke to add people of color and minorities and groups like that. I don't identify with this whole people of color thing. It's insulting as a black person in this country. And I'm trying to get black people to retire that phrase because you are a black person in this country. Black is not, in terms of physics, before y'all drag me in the comment section saying, well, black is not a color. It's a shade that makes things darker. It absorbs light, which is why when you are out and exposed into light, blackness causes heat because it absorbs light. It is not a color, it is a shade. It makes things darker. The exact opposite of white. So when you say people of color, it's an insult. Use the color wheel example as an example. There's a reason why black and white is not on there. A perfect example of this is when back in March, I did a video talking about the honeypot situation, and the CEO and the founder of Honeypot, her name is Beatrice Dixon. She made a statement and said, I want little black girls to succeed. I don't remember exactly what she said verbatim, but she definitely said black girls in the commercial, and it got a lot of people triggered. And I said what she said was not racist, and I told you why in that video. Click the card above. So I'm so proud of her for saying black girls and not girls of color, because I don't like when people told the political correctness line. I'm so proud of her for not doing that and acknowledging there's a difference between black girls and girls of color. It's an insult because people of color do not go through police brutality. People of color do not go through chattel slavery in this country. People of color did not go through de jure segregation, as y'all call it, the Jim Crow era. It's not people of color that get denied business loans. It's not people of color that deal with redlining. It's black people. And it's insulting as a black person to constantly hear people of color. It is not fair to us. And for those of y'all who are black saying this, please do me the biggest favor and stop. Please stop. You're not helping yourself. You're not helping me. You're not helping any other black person, because it's not fair. It's not fair to us. And it's not fair because every time you say that, I believe in manifestation of words and speaking words into existence. When you keep saying that, they're going to take it as, oh, well, they call themselves people of color, so we're just going to stick with the status quo and keep them at the bottom. That's exactly how that goes. There's a hierarchy. There's a ranking, okay? And when you keep saying people of color, it's an insult. This is not High School Musical. We're not all in this together. In the words of Dr. Claude Anderson, there is no equality in a race. It's called a race for a reason. And for those of y'all who say, well, you want to keep segregation alive, this is not segregation, this is aggregation. Know the difference.
Another reason why I don't like this POC solidarity, minority solidarity thing is because another example is when Yara Shahidi and Gina Rodriguez were doing an interview with Stella Valentine about the movie that they did together called Smallfoot. And the interviewer asked Yara on how do you manage to be such a young role model for black women? And Gina interrupted the interviewer and said, all women. I want y'all to check this out real quick.
You are just goals for so many young black women who just look
up to
so many
women.
So many women. Yeah, for women too, but for black women we need people on a whole nother level. How does that feel for you to be so young and just be like a role model?
I mean, overarchingly just kind of surreal, but I have to appreciate the fact that the support comes from me to create me, and so luckily I don't have to like promote some sort of facade to gain that support. But also I feel like it's been amazing because I get to be a part of such an incredible and thoughtful and brilliant community, and so it's very easy to just be constantly motivated and inspired because you look next to you in any which direction, and there are people that are like continuing to work in another industry, in another area of life.
Alright, so y'all just saw that clip. Like, Dad, Gina, shut up! In my Martin Lawrence voice. He meant what he said when he said black girls, and I'm so glad that he checked your behind, girl. And Yara gave a perfect answer, an eloquent and amazing answer. Yes, Yara. But seriously, Gina, shut up.
Hush! You talk too much. Homegirl, you never shut up.
So, how do I feel about what's going on with this whole situation and people saying, well, people of color, well, I'm a minority. So I understand. No, you don't. No, you don't. You really, really don't. You don't understand what it's like to be black in America. Being black in America is not the same as being a part of the LGBTQ community. I don't care who you are. It's one thing if you're a black person that's a part of it, but it's a whole nother thing if you don't identify as black and you're a part of the LGBTQ community. Being a woman is not synonymous with being black. I just happen to be both. Being black is not synonymous with being Asian. Two different plights. Or being Hispanic. You can be a black Hispanic. I'm not saying that you can't be. And I also, speaking of black Hispanic, I also find it insulting that there's a handful of Hispanics that don't identify as black but want to jump on the black train when it's convenient. Like, stop. Like, you will never be black. You will never understand blackness when it smacks you in the face. It's not fair. Stop. Like, that's how I feel about the whole, and black and brown. I'm going back to the black and brown situation. I told you about how I feel about Hispanics. And this is not to shade the Hispanic community, but how do I feel about people constantly saying black and brown? It was the brown people that started enslaving black people first. If you know your history, it was the Arabs. They're considered brown people in this hierarchy. Also, this is also how I feel about black and brown. I'll give you a perfect example. AOC, and for those of y'all who don't know who AOC is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She's a politician out of the state of New York, the state that I currently reside in. She believes that black people should get reparations, however, throw in Latinos in the mix. And I don't say Latinx, that's grammatically incorrect and it sounds ridiculous. It is Latinos. Latinos is already gender neutral as it is. I don't confide in that PC BS, which is why I'm making this video. So she said that Hispanics should also be entitled to reparations in this country. I'm like, AOC, no, stop, no. Okay, I love how adamant she is about the Hispanic community. She's supposed to be. Just like our caucus is supposed to be, but that's a whole nother video. My next video is going to be dragging the caucus. So, like, no, AOC. Hispanics do not have the plight that black people have in this country. That's not fair to us, AOC. Like, stop. Always want a slice of the ADOS pie. Stop. Two, another thing I didn't like about AOC. As recently as June, she said that Latinos are black. Now, do I know that there's black Latinos in the world? Yes, I know a few of them. But that's not the average Latino. Most of them are either white or multiracial, mixed with something. They may have African roots, but that doesn't mean that they're black, okay? Sofia Vergara is not black. Shakira is not black. Fat Joe is not black. Jennifer Lopez is not black. Cardi B is not black. And before y'all say her mother's Trini, I'm gonna drag each and every one of y'all for saying that because it's false. And I can debunk that in 0.25 seconds. Stop. She's just saying that because she wants a slice of what we want.
He lied! Y'all worship him! Lie! Never, ever said nothing about him! Lie! Nobody wants to tell the truth.
Now, the thing, like I said before, I respect AOC and commend her for fighting for her community, for the Latino and Hispanic community. That's what you're supposed to do. As a politician, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. Like our caucus is supposed to be doing that, but they're doing a terrible job at it because they're bought and paid for, but that's a whole nother video. But AOC, if you want reparations, take it up with Spain. Consult Spain. No one asked Hispanics to come to America for anything. Talk to the Spanish people about reparations, not people from here. Your people were not enslaved in America, okay? Your people did not go through de jure segregation. Completely different plight. Take it up with Spain, AOC. Not here. So that's also how I feel. That's exactly how I feel about black and brown.
Another reason why I don't like POC solidarity is because it diminishes the plight of each individual group. And when you lump them in together, some people feel like they should have a leeway with saying, well, I'm a person of color, so I can say this to you. Or I'm a minority, so I feel that way about you. So I get some leeway because I'm a person of color or a minority, so I get to say X, Y, and Z about a certain group. No, I don't care. Whether it's the N-word, whether it's whatever group or whatever lingo, whatever a person chooses to say. Just because you identify as a person of color doesn't mean that you're of that specific group. I don't care where you came from. If you're calling other people names or whatnot and diminishing other people's plight, say, well, look at it this way. I'm not white, or I'm not a man, so I can do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. Just because you don't fall under a specific category doesn't mean it's acceptable to say it. You know? Or, I'm not black, look at it that way. Like, no.
There's always a hierarchy. The laws that was made to be in favor of us are not for us, okay? They either suppress us or make it about other people to suppress us. And it's not fair for people like me to be grouped in with people that I don't identify as. And you may say, well, Mack, you're a woman. I know I am. But I'm a black woman at that. A black one. So when you say women, it's understood that you're, like I said this in my honeypot video. When you say women, it's understood that you're talking about white women. When you search up women on Google, what is the first picture that you see? What are all these pictures bombarded with? White women. Which is why I don't confide into the feminism movement. Because black women get nothing out of it. You want to combat racism? It will never end. The only way it will end is if this whole world blows up and we start from scratch. I'm not saying this on an individual level. I'm not saying that people don't deserve rights in this country. I'm not saying that people should not be acknowledged in this country. But to compare that to the black American plight, the black people who live in America, to compare your plight with them is absolutely insulting. It's insulting. And black people still don't have the stuff that we need in this country. Because our leaders, which I'll talk about in more detail in my next video, our leaders are failing us. Our black leaders are failing us. Our so-called black leaders are failing us. It is not fair to black people in this country to be considered a person of color. It is absolutely not fair to us. It's not cool. It's really not cool at all. I'm not saying this to disrespect other groups of people, but I feel disrespected. And if I feel disrespected, I will let you know how I feel. Alright? So, you can't, these plights are not mutually exclusive. They are not. They're not. They're not mutually exclusive. One has nothing to do with the other, and for you to group them together, it's not fair. It's not right, It's not fair. They made these laws are for everyone. These laws are for everybody. And it's not fair to us because we built this country the way that the colonizers wanted us to build it. And I'm not saying this to trash other groups of people. This needs to be said by a person who is from a younger generation. Because not many older people will understand where I'm coming from. And if you are older, this video is also for you too. This video is made for black people to understand. You are not a person of color. I will say this again. You are not a person of color. You are not a minority. You are not black and brown. You are not underprivileged. You are not a monolith. You are not a thug. You are not underdeveloped. You are black. Wear the crown the way it's supposed to be worn. You are black by popular demand. You are black because the sun kissed you more. You are black because God saw the beauty in blackness. The sun kissed you more intensely. Wear that crown the way it's supposed to be. Blackness is a crown. Blackness is a cloak of excellence and pride. Wear it the way it should be worn. Stop standing up your cloak with the people of color stains and the black and brown stains. Those are stains. Blackness is a cloak of excellence and honor. You should be nothing else but that. Wear it proudly. And I feel insulted and I cringe every time a black person says it. Because this political correctness is getting on my nerves so much. Everyone wants to be included into something. Every time a black person wants to talk about getting something from this country, or being acknowledged in the least bit, someone always has to downplay it. Like, bro, stop. You already get enough recognition in this country. What more do you want?
What more do you want from me? Oh my God. Oh.
It's not fair to black people that we get called something that we have nothing to do with. We have nothing to do with the Asian plight. We have nothing to do with the Hispanic plight, unless you're a black Hispanic. We have nothing to do with the Arab plight. We have nothing to do with the handicap plight or the LGBTQ plight. And before you come in my comment section saying,
LGBTQ people are black too.
I know there's some that are black. I'm very aware of that. And I'm not downplaying that. But the average black person is not a part of that community. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. It's no different from saying, well, there are black women out there. Hi, what's good? I'm right here. Like, bro, stop. Stop with the straw man fallacies. Stop with the word game. Stop with the semantics. I am not a person of color. I do not want to be called a person of color. It is insulting to be called a person of color if you are black. And stop calling yourself that because you're messing up your cloak. You're standing up your cloak. It is a robe of excellence. It's a robe of honor. You should be proud of being nothing but black. Wear the cloak with excellence. When you keep grouping yourself into other groups, you're standing up your cloak. Stop. You're messing up your crown. You're putting dents in your crown. And then that crown will be useless, and we don't want a useless crown. Black people aren't useless. I told you there's a hierarchy to this. There's levels to it. You and I know. It's not fair to be called a person of color in this country. And I'm saying this so many times because I need you to get it in your head. It is not fair as a black person to be called a person of color, a minority, an ethnic person. You keep saying other groups of people want a slice of the pie, but you keep adding yourself into these groups of people. Being black is a cloak of excellence. It's an honor to be black. You know what I'm saying? To be young, gifted, and black is an honor. To be old, gifted, and black is an honor. It's a cloak. Okay, while you over here fighting for the rights of other people not gonna bat an eyelash for you. If you ask them to blink and breathe, they will not do it for you. But for some odd reason, black people always gotta wear the cape of the people of color and other groups and other minorities. It's not fair. It's really not fair at all to us when you guys keep saying people of color. People of color have nothing to do with black people. Black is not a color, it's a shade. Jeez, I'll get on my nerves with that.
Well, we people of color, we buy POC.
What is a bi POC?
Well, it's a black indigenous person of color.
No! No! Stop! 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 Black. 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 I am black. I am ADOS, foundational black American, native black American. I'm trying to retire from the phrase African American. If you're a black immigrant, wear that cloak. Wherever country you come from, wear that cloak of blackness. Blackness is beauty. Okay? It's a lifelong cloak. It's a lifelong dedication. It's a lifelong honor to be black. To be kissed by the sun more intensely is an honor, alright? Not even just for your skin color, but for the purpose of you being in America. We have to come up with a purpose in America. What is the black purpose in America? If you keep downplaying it with this people of color stuff, no other group would understand black people like black people. When you keep adding yourself into something that has nothing to do with you, you're downplaying yourself. You're making it harder for yourself to succeed. You're making it harder for yourself to get something out of your votes. And I'm gonna do a whole video on that, and I know you're gonna drag me. And before you sit there and say, oh, are you against voting? And no, I'm not against voting. But I'm tired of us trying to cast our votes and we don't get anything out of it. I'm tired of us trying to fight for other people and be Captain Save an ethnicity, and every other group is like, I wanna be saved. Save yourself. Black people, stop trying to wear the crown for other people. Stop trying to wear the cape for other people. You have your own crown. You have to fix your own crown. Stop trying to group yourself into people that don't want anything to do with you, or don't know anything about you, and don't want to know anything about you. It's insulting to other black people who are like me and who are tired of this whole people of color game. I'm tired. That's PC. That's political correctness. It's a load of trash and BS. You get nothing out of it. You keep suppressing yourself and calling yourself names that you shouldn't be calling yourself. You're not being fair to yourself. Have some self-respect. You are not a person of color. You are not a minority. You are not underprivileged. You are not underdeveloped. You are not ethnic. You are not urban. You are not a monolith. You are not a thug. You are black. Wear the crown. Wear the cloak. Be the perfect kings and queens that you are. Hold your head up high in blackness. Hold it up high. When you keep grouping yourself in other X, Y, and Z groups that know nothing about the black plight, it's insulting. You're insulting yourself. You're not respecting yourself. Self-respect is key. Self-respect when you vote in interest of your own. Self-respect in the way you carry yourself, the way you dress, the way you look, the way you smell. Carry yourself. Show some sign. Like the caravan saying, I say it in every single one of my videos. Show some sign. If you love being black, show some sign. Show it. Don't just say I love being black on Instagram and then leave it on Instagram or leave it on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube or TikTok or whatever social media platform you use. Wear it everywhere you go. Say, no, I'm not a person of color. No, I'm not a minority. No, you are black. I'm not a part of those groups. I'm black. I love being black. I love being different from the other groups. We are a unique, special people. Or as Dr. Claude Anderson says, an exceptional group of people. We are so anomalous. Black people are to be the anomalies of the world. And when you group yourself with other races of people, it's insulting. Especially when you're black doing it. You're giving them the okay to suppress you. What good is it if you're being suppressed? You're asking for self-sabotage. It's not fair to yourself. Be fair to yourself. Fight for yourself. If no one else finna do it, create your own army. Fight for yourself, fend for yourself. Stop fighting for symbolic stuff. Symbolism ain't gonna get you nowhere. Fight for yourself. Fend for yourself. Ain't nobody gonna do it for you. I don't care about symbolic stuff. I don't care about statues. I don't care about paintings in the road. I don't care about murals. I care for laws in favor of black people. I care for having things done in favor of black people. I care about my black people getting compensated, not just through money, but through land. Have what the natives got. You think I'm playing, go on Best Buy's website and try to buy something. Click on tax exempt and you'll see that Native American is an option. Think I'm playing, I bought my camera, trying to go tax free. One of the options was Native American.
Alright, so boom, I open up Firefox. Google's the first thing I see. I open up a new tab, right? I type in bestbuy.com. Alright, now it opens up. And what I do is I click products. And then I go to cameras and camcorders. Then I go to camera and lenses. Then mirrorless cameras because I have a mirrorless camera. Alright, opens up. I scroll down. The second one is what I'm going to click on because that's the camera I have. I have a Canon EOS M50. And I paid $100 less than what you're seeing because I ain't paying no $600 for no daggone camera. Alright, clicked on that. It opens up. Scroll down. Click add to cart. Close that out. Click that again. I don't know what the heck is doing. Click it again. Go to cart. Alright, you see this new screen right here. It's loading. And click checkout. And I click on continue as guest. I have a Best Buy account, I ain't signing in. I have no reason to sign in. And I scroll down a little bit. Then apply to the tax exempt. Then register now. It opens up a new tab. Come on now. Alright, it's loading. Now the drop down menu doesn't work for some odd reason in the screen recording here. But I will show you and I'll zoom in for you to see exactly what I'm talking about. See how I clicked on other? I don't know what the heck. See, it's not showing up. But I'll click on that anyway. So I'll show y'all I'm not lying. What am I doing? Okay, now I clicked on it. See, I'm finna zoom in. And I'll show y'all in plain sight. See how that says Native American? See, look how I'm circling it. See? Told y'all I wasn't lying.
Tax exempt just like them. Free college tuition just like them. Be fair to yourself. Fight in favor of yourself. Vote for yourself. Not because your mother and your father told you to. Fend for yourself. Think for yourself. You're not an immigrant. Unless you're a black immigrant, you're not an immigrant in this country. Why are you fighting for immigration? Them people are not going to bat an eyelash for you. Unless you're a black immigrant, those people, you are not immigrants. Them people are not going to fight for you. Once the immigrants come in the country, they're not going to fight for you. They're going to fight for people of color because they benefit from it. They're going to fight for minorities because they benefit from it. You don't. And before y'all drag me and say,
well, you're being racist.
Nothing coming out of my mouth is racist. Alright? And nothing, this is not a superiority complex. Alright? Racism is a superiority complex. I'm not saying that black people are superior to any other race. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying why I love my race and care about it. And why I feel like my people should be treated in a certain kind of way in this country. Like, I don't care about symbolic stuff. I don't care about, paintings and statues of the Confederates, flags being changed, murals being painted on the road, people painting Black Lives Matter on their car windows. Who cares? That's not solidarity. If you want to fight in solidarity of black people, how many people of color are going to say, yeah, I want rights for black people. I want rights solely for black people and nobody else. They ain't finna say that. They're not going to. Stop thinking these people are your allies. We have no allies. Fend for yourself. Vote for yourself. Do everything in favor of your own self. Stop begging these people to accept you. You're not gonna be accepted. Alright, y'all, that's the end of my video. Alright, my next video will be dragging the Black Caucus because I'm about tired of these people. I'm literally tired of these people. Same for the NAACP. I'm tired of them. But seriously though, like the caravans and the other older folks say, show some sign. You know how you can show some sign? Like this video right here. Follow me on social media. Comment down below. Share this video. All that good stuff. And I'm gonna see y'all in my next video, which is about the caucus. Stay tuned. I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye.